All right. Blood in the streets in the town of the Bitcoin right now, original Bitcoin? Or is it actually the biggest announcement ever in the history of crypto hits the news on July 1st, 2025? How about a freaking world of opposites? I mean, yesterday we're seeing the price of the original Bitcoin known as BSV. It's tanked all the way down to its all-time low, 22.96. People have given up, right? They've lost hope. They've jumped out of buildings and they've pretty much, called it a day and called everyone and their mother, bad, whatever. Okay, that's what's been going on. Now, on the other side, if you look at the freaking ledgers, a whale was buying, enormous amounts. He had over 2 million BS in his wallet, in one wallet. That was the biggest wallet there was. And he was accumulating like massive amounts over and over again, some whale. Now, what's crazy is right now it's at 25. But here's the thing. Today, 7/1, July 1st, 2025, the biggest news ever hits the blockchain space. Something that we've been waiting for. I think, well, a lot of people have been waiting for a long time who've been following this industry. And that was the release of the Teranode, which is the node implementation software on the original, implemented on the original Bitcoin design. Now, it's a really technical design, but see if I can help understand it. Now, I fed it. I'm going to show you what I've got here. This will be interesting. All right, so first, for everyone's interested in price, right? 2509, there you go, for Bitcoin. There are some chart. I don't know about charts. Again, I've never even talked about charts here before, but I think it's super interesting when something hits rock bottom like this. Okay, especially for people who are kind of on the sidelines, like, oh wow, that's super cheap. Like just letting you know that's what's going on right now. Now, why is it interesting? Like incredibly opposite of what should actually be happening, right? So here's what just came out. Now, if you go to X, it's just announced this guy right here. He's on the Teranode team. I interviewed his brother a few months. Actually, no, we didn't do a show, off the record show. The managing director of the Bitcoin Association, right? And he is the brother of this guy, Siggy. He's officially on the Teranode team. Like he for sure is. Okay. And so he announced first Teranode code packages have been released. That's today, July 1st, 2025. To access the code, you go here, right? So then you go here, and then you got to be a computer scientist to be able to go through this aspect. So I'm just going to show it. But for the computer scientists, they can go through and look at this. Now, that's officially announced. Okay. Also, if you click on, that's the association, Bitcoin Association, BSV Association's official page. They're also announcing it. Teranode update. Now, let me just update. We see the strong interest of people, hear feedback from the community, appreciation, paramount. It's a standard we hold to ourselves. Teranode is the final stages of development. There are 24 tickets on the project. Teranode is in its final stages of development. We've begun to release the open source code of our new components on GitHub. What's next? The Teranode documentation, see how it works. Okay, and our new post on the Teranode packages. Now, that's the first time anything about it's been released open source at all. So let me go ahead and go over to something else that I want to share. So, all right, so I went over to Grok and I said, this is Super Grok, and I said, Siggy and BSV underscore association on X announced today, 7/1, the release of the first code of Teranode packages here. Please research what you know about this technology from X posts and other sources, including its functionality, benefits, and the effect of and the efforts involved in building it, such as partnerships with AWS and Aerospike. Here's what Grok comes back with. All right, so it goes through this deep analysis, and it says this is after citing 66 sources on the deep Grok. I put it into like deeper search. Teranode revolutionizing blockchain scalability. Okay, it cites Siggy Oscarson announced on the first Teranode code packages. Go safe conversation here. Their Teranode is designed to address the scalability challenges to have limited blockchain adoption for enterprise and government applications, offering a solution capable for processing millions of transactions per second. The document provider provides a comprehensive overview of Teranode's functionality, benefits, and the efforts involved in its development, including key partnerships with AWS and Aerospike. I didn't see that in the documentation, but apparently that's what Grok knows about. Teranode is a scalable node software for BSV blockchain, engineered to enable unbounded scalability through horizontal scaling and specialized node architecture. Horizontal scaling, unlike traditional blockchains with fixed transaction limits, Teranode allows operators to add resources to expand capability, support on global network, distributed mining nodes. Its design process of at least 1 million transactions a second, with a potential to 5 to 10 million transactions a second. Specialized nodes, overlay networks, microtransaction support, like where you're doing micro, small, like fractions of a cent payments, all digitally online, AI, right? So think the large language models like this, like Grok right now, where I'm paying a monthly subscription. As opposed to that, think about paying the Grok AI bot to do this search in a micro fraction of a cent, all automated through this network. Okay, that's where we're going. Why? It's the only thing that does it, and it's desperately needed. That's why. Desperately needed, dude. Like, people just don't know it exists yet, is why I'm making a video about it. I'm pumped about it. It's desperately needed. With these large language models, we have to have a system that takes payments and logs everything and automates these payments and makes everything honest and transparent. We have to. Otherwise, yeah, we just have to. It's desperately needed. Unmatched scalability, cost efficiency, enterprise readiness, development efforts. So it's been in plans for pre-2024, on and off again. I think it was actually they were working on it like 2018. So it's been like 7 or 8 years. But I don't know. It doesn't say that here, but that's what I remember it going back to. Partnerships. Teranode development has been supported by key partnerships that have enhanced its scalability and reliability. AWS, Amazon Web Services, has provided critical testing infrastructure, enabled Teranode team to conduct large-scale testings and scalability. This collaboration has been instrumental. Aerospike partners with Aerospike is focused on optimizing UTXO, unspent transaction output storage, critical components for handling high transaction volumes. Aerospike technology allows for scalable and efficient storage, supporting Teranode's goal of processing millions of transactions per second. N-Chain research from N-Chain has provided foundational support for Teranode's development, contributing to its technological advancements. Integration with the SV node. So Teranode is designed to coexist with an XP node, ensuring a seamless transition. SV nodes capable of handling thousands of transactions per second. Community interest. The release of Teranode packages have been evidenced by posts by, for example, Light BSV, that Teranode's programs, including mining blocks, etc. Teranode's capabilities, positions here we go. Look at this. The open source release. Teranode's capability, this is from Grok, neutral third party right here. Positions Bitcoin. It says BSV, that just means the Bitcoin technology. I know BSV is not the right name, and I'm sorry that I have to keep correcting it, but that's if you want to buy the coin, okay, that would be what BSV is, but it's not what it is. It's just, this is the Bitcoin technology. So it's the Bitcoin protocol is what we're talking about here. BSV is the coin or the trading symbol. If you go, you can't find it. It's been completely banned. That's the problem. They've gotten it off more exchanges now than ever. It's hard to freaking get. But yeah, that would be the coin if somebody wanted to buy it. Okay. But it's not what I'm talking about here. This is the Bitcoin technology. So particularly the application. So the Bitcoin technology as a leader in blockchain space, particularly for applications requiring high scalability and transactions, its potential to support enterprise and government products such as secure communications and smart contracts underscores the versatility. Conclusion. Teranode represents a transformative step for the Bitcoin technology, offering unmatched scalability, efficiency, and enterprise readiness. The release of the first packages on the 1st of July marks a pivotal movement, enabling developers to engage with Teranode's code-based documentation, supported by partnerships with AWS, Aerospike, built on years of rigorous development. Teranode is posed on to redefine blockchain scalability. Full mainnet launch for Q1 2025 for commercial readiness, targeted for 2026. 2026 for commercial readiness. So actual mainstream commercial readiness would be 2026, a year from now. Bitcoin technology continues to evolve. Teranode stands as a test net to potential power machine. So my point is, if you're watching this video, you're actually way early, and that's why it's kind of funny. Take you back here to what's going on. The crash happened. It went to the lowest price ever it's ever at. Now I'm talking about the Bitcoin protocol being the lowest price it's ever been. Unimaginable. $22, now it's at 26. So I would expect to see some major changes in the next coming year, including, I don't know if it matters, to be honest, but maybe I'll be a part of it. Maybe I'll be the one doing something about it. But potentially the naming, we'll see. That might be something to change. I don't really know if it matters, to be honest, but it's like if you had the name Bitcoin only by it, if it was just called Bitcoin, it would sure make more sense because that's kind of what it is. It's the Bitcoin protocol. But you've got the other thing called BTC, which they're using Bitcoin, but they're not. They're using BTC, But for some reason, people refer to it as Bitcoin. I think it's just more of that's what the community, the industry calls it. So, I'm excited about it, but I will say, definitely not invested in advice, but I will say that, do not look at this as an investment, I don't think, because the market is much crazier than anyone will think. I remember just put it in perspective. I mean, a lot of people remember back in the day. Shoot, I remember 2000 and graduating college. I had a financial guy that was in my fraternity, Chase. He was a CPA, and he talked about. I remember going to him for advice, and I said, Chase, I heard that the freaking, we were going to go into hyperinflation. This is dangerous. I don't want to buy into fiat stuff. This is back in 2001, 2002. He's like, oh, no, you're crazy, man. That's not going to happen for at least 50 years. And I thought, really? So I went with it, but I remember thinking about it back then. And then in 2008, I thought, oh my gosh, it's really going to happen. And then in 2012, I thought, oh, it's really going to happen. We're going into hyperinflation. I thought that. Okay. Now here we are in 2025, and it's just the opposite. There's no hyperinflation. That's over. Okay. In fact, we'll probably, the dollar is the strongest currency there is. It's the most popular. It's the most used. Just look at the derivatives market. Everybody uses the dollar. Now, maybe other currencies are difficult, but not the dollar. The US dollar is strong as ever. And if anything, it's going to get stronger because if anything, there'll be an end to the Fed in Title 12 and it'll be replaced by some sort of a gold-backed or crypto-backed, maybe Bitcoin-backed currency. I don't know, but it's definitely going to get stronger. It's not getting weaker. So I was totally wrong about all that. So that my point is that when you're looking at this sort of thing, the market loves BTC. It loves it. It thinks it's the best thing ever. People and the institutions and the boomers, they think that's great. They might be thinking it's great. I watched my buddy Keno Body Grego Gallagher made a video all about BTC, how he loves BTC. It's the best thing ever. He thinks it's wonderful. It's going to be around forever. I mean, that's what the market thinks, dude. Hats off. I mean, I'm just saying. So, that might be how it goes for the next 20 years. It might, dude. However, when it comes to utility, like an actual massive scalability and use, I'd rather play it safe, I guess, and just be like, I'm going to bet on the winner, the winning horse, the underdog that's going to freaking make it. And that has all the colors. Like I think there was a show. I'll leave a link to the end of a video here that I did with Jack Pitts, and we did a show. And here he was a stock picker back in the early days of 2000, like during the boom. And he tells us a story at one of the times that buying eBay, buying Amazon, and then hearing about MicroStrategy at that time. And MicroStrategy was another one of these .com companies that had this great market valuation, was super hot, popular. Turned out not to be doing anything. It lost $5 billion in a day. It was on the front page of the New York Times. Or New York Post. And so, he talked about that story and many others. And so it's funny though, like where are we at right now in the whole big picture of things? Because if you're looking at this for meme culture and popularity, I mean, it might, like I said, it might work. But if you're betting and you're looking at actual, like, what is the utility of something and the value of something and how is it going to be used and how can I use it? And if you're not too paranoid about the price, because if the price is all you're after and you're after investments, you're probably better off doing trading, like trading, crypto trading, and focusing on your time on that. Because that's a really good place. If you know how to do it, you can do well on swapping arbitrage, stuff like that. If you spend all day on the computer doing that. But for me, I'm like, dude, I'm not about the long term. I'm not going to do trading, and I'm not in this for that. I want utility, and I also want, I want to be a part of the original design, Satoshi's Satoshi's design, Satoshi's plan, what works. And I think it's going to actually work out in an insane way. I think there's some sort of divine thing going on with the fact that it's being released on July 1st, 2025, right at the bottom. The lowest price ever in its history, the same day they released Teranode. Think about that. I mean, if that's not some either divine plan or to give people like you and I, just regular people, a chance. I mean, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's a divine plan to give us a chance, because we never had one before, to actually stand up to the elite. If you think about it, because I mean, you got the massive Teranode just gets released on today. They dropped the code on the first time, the very first releases of the code. This has been waiting for like 7-8 years. And at the same time, it hits the absolute rock bottom in price ever. That tells me something, man. There's a bigger plan involved in this than just price and just the release, and it wasn't on accident. All right. Show on Thursday. We'll talk about this with some other people and a lot more to come. Dude, I'm just excited about this. I want to talk about health and fitness stuff. I want to do lives. I do want to do that stuff. But right now, this is like massive breaking news. I'm doing insane, like solving insane problems right now. Like super complex problems. Like, dude, I want to share more. I may just start sharing recordings that I'm doing on other calls with people just to get it out there and other groups, I'm thinking about considering doing that. So other off topics, but more like high level stuff. People really super drop a lot of knowledge on people really fast and see how like problems get solved, orchestrating different situations and deals. Like it's really complicated at times. It's not, but it can be, but it's like freaking, and it's exciting to see it work. All right. So anyways, that may be coming, but most importantly, freaking Teranode's out and the original Bitcoin hit the rock bottom. What are you going to do about it? Orange Gateway is the best place, or also Rock Wallet. Check those two out. And last, I will leave a video here of Jack Pitts. You could check him out, see what he talked about back in the old days of picking stocks. I'll see you at the top. My name's Gavin. Later.